Take two. Good morning, YouTube friends and family. Day two of the sourdough starter series. So I did a beautiful thing, but I forgot my microphone, and yeah, so you wouldn't have been able to hear me. So I hope that it'll be a little better today. I noticed the quality of the audio in my video for the first day wasn't so good. So I've made sure that everything's hooked up right, and I'm trying to keep this a little closer to my face so maybe you can hear me better. So before we get into our day two, I want to give a shout out to Miss Lori over at Whippoorwill Holler. Now, she doesn't need me to do shout out. She's a big channel. Lovely, lovely Christian couple. So fun to watch. True longtime homesteaders. And she just posted a video where she does a 5-day sourdough starter with all-purpose flour using measuring cups, and it was fabulous. I wish I would have done my video that way instead of, every day we gotta keep getting together. But y'all, that's all right. Live and learn. If I do another series, I'll do it differently. I am thinking about trying her method alongside this one. So the second thing I need to say, y'all, and I apologize, I am so far from perfect that it's embarrassing. I kept saying I didn't have a wide mouth pint jar. What I meant was I didn't have a wide mouth half pint jar. So I do have my starter in a pint jar. We're going to use that same jar today. I'm not going to new jar until we increase our feed tomorrow. I purchased, careful, I got to wash this, the Le Parfait jars. Grove had them on clearance, and when they arrived, because I got a bunch of them, they were like 40% off. They were all shattered, except a very, very few. So I'm going to try the Le Parfait jar because it's a beautiful wide mouth jar. And then you can just put the lid on like this. So I wanted to clear that up. And that is a liter jar because they measure different. So more like a quart. So let's take a peek because I haven't peeked. So this is where I am with my starter. Don't expect a bunch of excitement. Yeah, no. So, okay, here's what it looks like. Still pretty pasty, but you can see there's a little liquid and a little fermentation going on. But you don't expect to see a whole bunch with this method. I was impressed with Miss Laura's method because by day two she had some bubbly, but she's using larger amounts of flour and water. All right, so what we're going to do day two, first thing we're going to do is we're going to stir. So now I'm still getting used to this new ring light setup here. So let's give it, oh yeah, very different consistency, y'all, of what it was yesterday. So while it's still pasty, it is much looser. It smells like bread. But you're not getting the fermented smell. I'm not yet in mine. I did have a thought. I wonder if the temperature of that heat mat might be a little much because mine got a little dried out on top. So what I did when I wrapped it up is I kind of gathered the bottom and had that between the heat mat and the jar. And then I took my infrared thermometer and I measured the temperature of the heating mat, and it was 87. So a little high, but it shouldn't cause any problems, I would not think, with our starter, because that's the way I've always done it. But I think I'm going to try Miss Lori's method too, y'all. So I might start that after I finish up this video. I do have a few things I want to talk about today in addition to sourdough starter. All right, so what are you going to do? We're going to do the exact same thing we did yesterday. I'm going to turn on the scale. And if you don't put your jar on the scale, then once you do, you'll want to tare it, T-A-R-E, or zero it out. I am going to add 50 grams, get my directions here, of water. Zero out the scale. And I'm just going to tell you guys, I always put, after day one, because it's super thick, I'll put like 53 or 54. I put a little bit more water. And I think that's because mine is on the heating mat versus just in a warm place. That works better for me. Zero out your scale again. We're going to do the exact same thing as we did yesterday. and we're going to add 50 grams of flour. So what we're doing here is we are feeding the good, what do I call it, acids and microbes in our starter with something else to ferment with. Now, sometimes if my starter is acting sluggish, I will also put a pinch of sugar in. I'm not going to do that yet. It's too early. Oh, 50. There we go. Right on the nose. Now, you're going to start to see that after it's fed, it'll have a tendency to rise up in the jar. So make sure you're using a big enough jar. The other thing that can happen is once it really gets going, it can oop over. I have had that happen, and I will put it on a plate or a saucer just to prevent that. You want to just make sure you mix it up really well, that there aren't any dry spots, that you scrape the sides of your jar. If you prefer, you can put all of this into a new jar. I'm not going to do that. Not yet. I'm just going to use the same jar. Scrape down your sides so it can all be happy together. I'll show you in just a moment what it looks like. I mean, it looks like a jar of paste. Not all that exciting. Okay, so here's what we look like. And I'm going to wrap her back up and put it back on my heat mat. And then I just want to share a couple thoughts with you, and that'll be it for today. All right, I want to give a shout out to my friend, neighbor, and her mother for a couple things. I ordered a sign that I'm going to hang up back here. How cute, y'all, is this? They make these. I will check with Grace. So thank you, Grace. It's beautiful. And see if they have a place that you can order, because they do amazing, amazing work. And her mom made me the cutest thing. It's a chicken purse, and it's got the little hook. It's got the zipper. I'm going to keep my keys and my chapstick, two things that are very important to me in it. So thank you very much, Carrie. I love it. What I wanted to talk to you about just for a few minutes is the end of the pantry challenge came for me yesterday, in that I was going to permit myself to go to the grocery store. Well, I went really early, y'all. Aldi wasn't open yet. And in big town, Aldi and Walmart are right across the street from each other. So I went in Walmart. And I do believe Aldi is cheaper for the things I buy. But in the scheme of things, time is valuable. I decided I'm just going to go to Walmart. I was really good. I went in and stayed on the grocery side. I did not tempt myself with any of the cute Valentine decor. So anyway, y'all, I was shocked. I was shocked. The last time I went to the grocery was before Christmas. I could not believe the price increases. And it's kind of made me rethink some of the pantry challenge, and I want to share that with you. I bought 5 pounds of potatoes. It cost me $4.48. Wait, what? Now, I like yellow potatoes, the thin-skinned potatoes. They don't stay fresh nearly as long. And I don't have a basement or a good, cool place to store potatoes. So while I do grow them, I usually can them. But I like to have some for baked potatoes. So I'm going to see about maybe planting some Idahos, which I could store in my long-term pantry and not have to spend on potatoes as expensive as they've gotten. And the reason I'm looking down is I have my Walmart receipt. I spent $56.27, and I'm like, okay, here's my bag. Just kidding. I also wanted salad. So I did buy a package of salad, and y'all have to realize I'm only feeding myself. And I like to make wraps with chickpeas, spicy chickpeas, salad, and a little salad dressing in a wrap. A bag of salad was $2.58. Then I needed some mayo because I used my last jar of mayo off the shelf, so I wanted to replace that. Y'all, even the cheap Great Value was $3.48. That is a huge increase. But the shocker to me was when I got back to the dairy section. I like Great Value's sour cream because it does not have additives and preservatives. It's usually, I think 96 cents, it might be 98, but like around $1. Yeah, so sour cream was $1.96. So the price more than doubled on the sour cream. It's just crazy. Tortillas, a name brand, I bought Great Value. Um, the name brand was like $3.50, and you could get the same amount in the same type of the Great Value for $1.98. I also needed trash bags and kitchen trash bags, and wow, y'all, I'm gonna be throwing it away. It's so expensive. Um, Kitchen trash bags for 40 was $7.62, and the 30-gallon bags for 40 was $9.52. So how is that making me rethink the pantry challenge? I think it is really good to use up food that's you're going to replenish from your garden and recan. You should be enjoying your bounty. If you have food like I did in the freezer or on the shelf that is nearing or past its best by date, doesn't mean it's expired. I think it's good to use that up. What I've realized is I don't want to deplete every single thing on my shelf because I want to be able to shop sales, shop price reductions, and not be pressured because I'm completely out of something. I did not run out of most of my pantry staples. I had very little I had to replenish. I mean, $56 didn't get much, but at any rate, not too bad. So I encourage you to really be looking at your sale ads for the store. Buy those loss leaders. So a loss leader is something that a store will put on sale, maybe at or below their cost, to drive people into the store and think that you will shop and buy other things. Don't do that. Buy those loss leaders. So do continue to be mindful of your pantry. So to finish up today's video, I just wanted to share with you that I am still doing a lot of projects here on my little homestead, and I do consider myself a homesteader. So I did clean out my refrigerator, things that were nearing the end of their usable life. I am freeze drying and putting on the shelf for later use or freezing for later use. I did do a fairly sizable donation of some meat that really needed to be consumed. Again, I'm not a good meat eater, and I overpurchased from Butcher Box, but I was able to bless someone else with it, so that made me feel really good. I continue to can. I don't always video it because how many canning videos can one person do? And a lot of the things I'm doing, I've already done. There is a canning playlist if you're interested in doing some canning, but still be mindful of those things that, while not fresh, maybe you want to take off your shelf or out of your freezer and can up to make more food available for you that is shelf stable, shelf ready, and you're not overloading your freezer. So I will see you all tomorrow. I hope this series is interesting to you. I don't know if I'm going to have other videos during this maybe 10-day period where I'm doing a video every day. I mean, God bless Homestead Tessie, because I don't know how she does 2 videos a day, because I can't. I just feel like I have too much other things going on, and I'm that's not a criticism in any way of her. I very much admire that. So I will see you all tomorrow. Please do me a favor, if you would, go ahead and smash that like button. If you know someone who'd be interested in watching the Sourdough Starter series, please share my video. It really helps my channel, and we continue to grow. Again, welcome to everyone new. I will see you tomorrow. In the meantime, be healthy, be well, be blessed. Take care.